Topics include first aid, understanding basic first aid and how to deal with road accidents, warning devices, knowing how to warn other road users of an accident, reporting procedures, knowing how and when to call the emergency services and knowing when you must report road accidents, safety regulations, understanding the warning signs and dangers for vehicles carrying hazardous loads. Accident scenes. If you are in a collision that causes damage or injury to any other person, vehicle, animal or property, then you must stop and give the following details to anyone who has reasonable grounds for requiring them: your name, the vehicle's owner's name and address, the vehicle's make and registration, the insurance details. If you cause damage to property and the property owner is not available, then you must inform the police within 24 hours. If you are involved in a road accident, the police may ask to see your driving licence, insurance certificate and MOT certificate. If you arrive at an accident scene that you are not involved in, make sure all engines are switched off. Call the emergency services. Don't put yourself at risk. Switch on your hazard warning lights. Get people who are not injured away from the scene. This is your priority. First aid. Any casualty with suspected back injury should not be moved. A person suffering from shock may be sweating and have pale grey skin. If the casualty is breathing, you should still check that their airway is clear. To stop bleeding without a bandage, apply pressure to the wound and, if possible, raise it. If an accident victim has a burn, you should try and cool it with clean, cool, non-toxic liquid for at least 10 minutes. If anything is stuck to the burn, do not remove it. You find an unconscious casualty. You should check their breathing for at least 10 seconds. Do this by placing your cheek over their mouth and nose to feel for breath, and then looking to see if the chest rises. If a casualty isn't breathing, then chest compression should be given at a rate of 100 per minute. The correct depth to press is 4 to 5 centimetres. An unconscious motorcyclist must only be moved if absolutely necessary, as moving them could worsen any injuries. Do not remove their helmet. Seek medical assistance immediately. When giving mouth-to-mouth resuscitation to a child, breathe into their mouth gently. At any crash, if you find an unconscious casualty, your first priority is to check their breathing. You must then check circulation, ensure professional help is on the way, stop any heavy bleeding, warn other traffic, check if the airway is clear. If not, and you can hear snoring or gurgling noises, remove any obvious obstruction. Only tilt the head back gently as a last resort if the patient is unable to breathe. Level crossings. If you break down on a level crossing, leave your vehicle and get yourself and any passengers away from the crossing. Phone the signal operator. Move the vehicle if a signal operator tells you to. Motorway incidents. If you get a puncture on a motorway, pull up on the hard shoulder and use the emergency phone to call for help. Use your hazard lights to warn other drivers if you have to slow down quickly due to a hazard ahead or if you break down and can't reach the hard shoulder. A large box falls from a lorry. The lorry doesn't stop. You should pull onto the hard shoulder near an emergency telephone and report it. When using an emergency telephone, you will be asked the number on the telephone, details of yourself and your vehicle, are you a member of a motoring organisation? People suffering from shock. People at an accident scene may suffer from shock. Signs include grey skin, a rapid pulse, sweating. To help someone suffering from shock, reassure them constantly, keep them warm, make them as comfortable as you can, avoid moving them unless it's necessary, make sure they're not left alone. Safety in tunnels. Take extra care when entering a tunnel because when you enter a tunnel, visibility is suddenly reduced. The confined space can make incidents difficult to deal with. When driving through a tunnel, variable message signs will warn you of congestion or an incident ahead. If you break down, use your hazard lights and call for help. Tune your radio to the frequency shown. If your vehicle catches fire, drive out of the tunnel if you can. If this is not possible, stop and turn on your hazard warning lights. Go and call for help immediately from the nearest emergency telephone point. Dangerous loads. A vehicle carrying dangerous goods will display an orange label or a hazard warning plate on the back. If a vehicle carrying a dangerous load is involved in an incident, report what the label says when you call the emergency services. Other facts to know. If you break down and have a warning triangle, place it at least 45 meters behind your vehicle. While driving, a dashboard warning light comes on. You should check out the problem quickly and safely. If your engine catches fire, you should pull up as safely and as quickly as you can and call the fire brigade. Do not open the bonnet. If a tyre bursts while driving, hold the steering wheel firmly and pull up slowly at the side of the road. Use hazard warning lights when stopped and temporarily obstructing traffic, when you slow down quickly on a motorway because of a hazard ahead.